So tonight we are going to talk about why does everyone say gratitude is the thing to do? Whether it's a religion, it's health, why is it the thing to do?
That's right. We are a Life Talks talk show, and we talk about things like this. We wonder a lot of things, and tonight we wonder why gratitude works. But before we talk about it, please do us a favor and subscribe. Visit our Insta page. Go to our Facebook page. We want to grow this channel because we want to enter these conversations with you, the community, our human familia. And we want to be able to get your input on things like why gratitude works. So, babe, why does gratitude work?
Okay, so we're going to talk about our personal experiences, but basically we're going to look at an article from Forbes that looked at a lot of reasons, 7 reasons specifically, and they're all research backed. So we want to dive into these a bit. Okay, so ready for the first one? Gratitude opens the door to more relationships.
Like the people who are miserable, right? Misery attracts misery, and no one really wants to be around that. We all want to be happy, right? So I think people really like to be around people who are grateful because they seem to be more happy and they just have a better outlook on life.
Yeah, that's basically it. And they're just saying like by being grateful, it's going to open up the door to a relationship quicker. So people are going to think you're happy. They're going to just be drawn into. And usually, if you do something like that, if you have gratitude, people are just more willing to be in a relationship with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think about like particular people that I've known, and yeah, so like the people who like come to my mind that have smiles on their faces and they just, you want to be around them. It makes a big difference compared to the people who kind of just complain a lot. And even myself, I've noticed, and I'm thinking too, like, oh, the times in my life where I'm really on a struggle bus, which is good to be authentic and open about that. But it definitely wasn't inviting other people into my life.
Right. Definitely. And the study that they cited here basically said it would help you win new friends. So if anyone's looking for more relationships, gratitude is a great way. And I was thinking the same thing, like, what's the opposite of gratitude? Does anyone want to be friends with that guy? So there you go. All right. Point number 2. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Gratitude improves physical health. Let me just comment real quick. I listen to tons of health podcasts, and gratitude comes up like it doesn't matter who's talking, what their beliefs are, what their background. Everyone eventually comes to this point of gratitude for health.
I think gratitude inherently lowers our stress levels, which we know has a positive impact on our physical health. And so, yeah, I totally buy into that.
Yeah. And the study, just to give you a little bit more, basically cited that more people who are grateful cited less aches and pains in their bodies. They're also more likely to exercise and go to like regular doctor visits and such. Now, you could always do like any study, right? You could be like, well, are they more grateful because they're in better health because they take care of their health? Which came first, the chicken or the egg in this one? But definitely, I think there's so much on it that being grateful, I think it just helps your body mentally have positivity, and it can even help you physically.
Your body is designed to repair itself, to heal itself. Like the body is amazing, right? So when we have thoughts, because a lot of our brain is chemical reactions, like the chemicals of healing and health and well-being are also going to be flowing through.
So. Perfect. And this kind of leads into the next one. You're getting into the mental health. Gratitude improves psychological health. So to start off with, basically it reduces like the amount of multiple toxic emotions that come through our mind just by having a little bit of gratitude. So what could be toxic? Envy, resentment, jealousy, right? These types of things.
Comparison. Yeah, ooh. That's a big one right now, especially with social media. And I work with a lot of teens, and it definitely happens among my male clients, if you will, but especially the females, no matter what age, like we compare ourselves to each other so much, even when we're on a team. Like I was in a women's choir in high school, and like it's just a thing. So and it's a terribly difficult thing to deal with. And so I think being grateful helps us to not just focus on how we compare and measure up to other people, but be thankful for what we do have and not be in competition with others.
Yeah, and it helped with the regrets as well. And ultimately, this being thankful psychologically led to less depression. That's what they're saying in this study. That's what they took away. I could notice even just actually, I think it was last night, literally, I had just so much on my mind. And nothing bad, but I was like a little bit kind of negative because I felt like, I think overloaded, basically like stressed work and such. And then I started like going into a thankful thing, and I was praying like, thank you, Lord, for, these different things. And instantly I just noticed myself just turn on a dime. Like, wow, I like almost like my lungs were being pressed down before. And I just started to breathe. Like there is so much good going on. I did like, it's amazing. I think there's truly some kind of mental process, like, where all of a sudden you just flip a switch and now you're like in a healthier state. Like I physically felt better too, but besides mentally.
Yeah, and a personal testament that kind of goes along with that. Like I had a really rough patch in life, well, several years ago now, but and I was just like regretting a lot of my choices and like especially my financial outcome of my choices. And I was just so upset and I didn't know what to do. I felt really lost. So I just decided that every morning I was going to do a new prayer routine and it would be simple. And all I would do is say thanks to God for three things each day when I got up. And that transformed, that like remapped my brain, and it just was a huge propeller forward. And so now like when I get in a rut, like now I've been in a new transition in life, moving and getting to used to a suburban life, which I'm not used to, but just a very different lifestyle. Instead of thinking of the things that I used to have or I want to have and I don't have, I can say this is what I do have and I'm grateful for, instead of this is what I don't have. And that's been a huge help to me too.
Yeah, and you guys don't know this girl Melissa probably too much, but I can just testify, being her husband and all, she does struggle. I struggle myself being in like suburbia in a sense. We're actually kind of somewhat in the country, but not compared to like mountain ranges and such. And yeah, it's like right there in the pudding, right there, proof in the pudding. But you literally trying to say like thank you about these different things. I have my job, I have different things, the people I did meet here. But it just like turns it around. Like you could really like walk depressed and just like bitter and all these types of things if you didn't kind of have a gratitude practice in such areas. So great stuff. Okay, number 4, gratitude enhances empathy and reduces aggression.
Well, I mean, I did body slam you the other night, but that was totally unrelated.
She didn't pin me to 3, guys. She got the 1 on me. I got the shoulder up. But basically what they're saying, even if someone is negative to someone who's practicing gratitude would not retaliate as aggressively. They wouldn't take the feelings as negatively, even the feedback, we can get into that in a moment. And overall, basically these people who had gratitude practices had more empathy towards others and decreased desire to seek revenge.
Revenge. I wanted to talk about the empathy one. So we see it like a lot of people who are grateful, they want to serve others. So we see this in a lot of charitable organizations and religious or non-religious. So like a lot of people say, I have so much that I want to give to others. That comes from a spirit and attitude of gratitude. We've heard people say that so many times. I can't not give when I have so much, right? And I really think that just goes to show that works. It opens up the doors to empathy.
Yeah, empathy. Yeah, and I find that I love people more when I think of them, and usually for me, it's when I pray for them. So if I pray for them, but it may not be prayer for somebody, but if I'm thankful for something about them, like instantly my whole demeanor is different. Even if they've upset me, I start to see them more as a human, you know, pliable to faults, just like myself, not just like they got to be perfect or else. And yeah, that's a big one. Kind of see them in their human level. So, all right, moving on. Number 5, grateful people sleep better. I'm gonna have to test that one out, guys. My sleep is okay. Last night I got up 3 times, but I had a tinkle. What is going on? It must be that coconut milk in my smoothies. But overall, I just struggle with good sleep. I have to sleep like literally, guys. This is an adult talking. I have to. You can confirm it. I schedule 10 to 10 and a half hours sometimes at night to sleep as an adult. How do I do this? No, I don't have kids. It's true. But basically, it's like, but I'm not sleeping 10 or 10 and a half hours. I'm just dying over there, whether it's my nostrils or whatever it is. I just get up like 27 times a night and, yeah. So what do you got?
Yeah, I think we should try this. I don't know that you're not sleeping because you're an ungrateful person, but it could help with if you're going to start a practice and maybe do a grateful meditation more regularly. I don't know, but it might help because yeah, I can confirm lights go down at 7:30. Bedtime rolling around 8 o'clock. Late night during the week is 8:20. And then it's not like you get up at 4 in the morning.
No, it's 6:27, folks. So there's the math right there. Yeah. So again, how much am I actually sleeping? Maybe 8 hours and 45 minutes. which is still a lot, but I just like have these autoimmune things I need to sleep. But yeah, just coming back to this one, what they did cite is like having a journal practice, a gratitude practice with journaling before bed, 15 minutes, just jotting down ideas, what you're thankful for.
Interesting. I just started doing my journal thing like 2 days ago of like 3 things before I go to bed.
How you been sleeping?
Just as good as before.
Just as good. I'm jealous. I'm envious. I need gratitude so I could go on that one. But yeah, maybe I should start doing that a little bit more. I mean, again, I generally think I'm thankful, but again, it could put you in like a more relaxed state if you're thankful. The gratitude is maybe
right. Instead of going to bed kind of thinking about everything else, right? Maybe like that's part of like the sleep issues that so many people have is that we have so many pressures, right? The society is like plagued with insomnia because we have so many things that we're thinking about, and we also have a lot of phones in our bed. But this gratitude journal before bed could be a hit.
Yeah, try that one out. Number 6, gratitude improves self-esteem. They even found gratitude increased in athletes' self-esteem, interesting enough, which is, of course, important when you want to perform optimally. What do you think about that? Gratitude and self-esteem.
Well, I mean, it just makes sense that gratitude helps with everything, but I don't know how it helps self-esteem. I'm grateful for, yeah, maybe you're just not concentrating on your own faults. Maybe it's just because you're thinking about other things instead of like like, I don't know, abuse, if you will.
Yeah.
Like mental.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And this one, actually, they kind of brought it back to comparing to others. So self-esteem, if you're more grateful, maybe you're not comparing yourself to others and you just go do you, and less resentful. Yeah. And they found that could be a big help. So there you go. All right. You ready for the last one? Gratitude increases mental strength.
I can do anything. Oh, wait, no, not better than you. That's comparison. I can do anything, anything, anything.
Okay, so let's
change the lyrics.
Let's get it in. let's mute that. That's me personally. Wait, thank you, Lord, for her good voice. It's so good. I love.
So good. I'll continue singing.
Thank you, Lord, that she stopped. And
Thank you, Medicare.
okay, so basically, what they're saying here is, if increased mental strength, like a trauma. Okay, so overcoming a trauma, this could help. Gratitude, overcome that, something like that.
Oh, I can totally get that, right? Because if you're grateful for your accomplishments, especially, then you can see like, oh, I'm not a failure, right? Because a failure is what kind of like weakens your confidence, your abilities to like persevere and have fortitude, right? But if you're grateful, you're like, oh, I accomplished this. I had this victory. Someone else had a victory. Like we're all just like, we're on winning teams here because we see the little things that are going so well.
Yeah.
Or the big things.
Yeah. And they even talked about veterans of Vietnam. My dad was in that war, and basically lower levels of PSD, right? And if they have a gratitude, post-traumatic stress disorder, if they have a gratitude in their lives. Now, they did not really say they had a gratitude practice. So again, chicken or egg, right? Are they thankful, or do they have lower levels of basically stress, traumatic stress, and then they're more thankful? So I'm not sure on that one.
Great.
But one other one they talked about in this particular one is September 11th, and they found those who had, let me just read it so I don't mess it up. Gratitude was a major contributor to resilience following the attacks of September 11th. So by even being thankful in the worst times of your life, they're thinking gratitude made a difference.
Can I tell you a little story?
Sure.
It's not too long. I was thinking about joining a religious order, becoming a nun with a group of sisters who worked with the poor of the United States in particular. And so I went to New Orleans, and long story short, I ended up washing the feet of this man, Timothy. And he told me as I was washing his feet, because the homeless, like, they don't get showers, and then they're on their feet all the time, and they don't have like proper socks and shoes and footwear. So their feet are in bad shape, and it can lead to a lot of like complications. So we were washing their feet at the shelter, and we were just chatting. And I guess he was living in New York City during 9/11, and he was hit in the head with some debris, and his wife died on that day. And so he ended up living with his mother, and eventually she was helping him out because he could not hold a job just because of his brain damage after that event. And then eventually she passed, and so he really he lost everything. And so he became homeless and made his way down to Louisiana, where I met him in New Orleans. And so we just had a great conversation. We talked a lot about nutrition and I don't know, physiology. I don't know, just a lot of different things. And he just stopped and he said that he thanked me. He was like, "Thank you so much for being here." And the backstory is like, I really didn't want to wash feet. I've done that one other time and we had gloves. This time there were no gloves. And so I was like, by the grace of God and the persistence of Sister Julie, I was washing feet. It had nothing to do with
the stern look of sister.
No, her big brown eyes. No. How can you say no? Anyways, I'm so grateful. So I can't take credit for this, but he was thanking me. He's like, I can't believe that y'all are here washing our feet when so many people don't even look at us and they treat us less than dogs. Right? So he could have been, because there are a lot of homeless people that are so bitter and they're so hurt and they feel so rejected by society, which they are. They don't even accept help a lot of the times because they just are so wounded inside. This man, he was grateful for this moment, and he, in his gratitude, was able to accept this help and to reconnect with another human being, which he hadn't had connection for however long it had been. And I could just tell that it totally touched his heart and his soul, and it did for me too. I mean, this is years ago and I still remember him and I hope I never forget him. And it made me grateful too. Like, that gratitude opened up doors, right? I was grateful eventually. Like, when I knelt down, I was grateful for the opportunity. God worked his grace as I walked from Sister Julie to the foot washing station and made me grateful to be in that moment, even though I didn't want to be at first. And it was just like such a life-changing moment where I connected with another beautiful human being in a way that I never thought I would. And his heart was touched. And it's just like, gosh, I don't know, just the power of that encounter centered on gratitude was just, that's, I don't know, to me, that's the meaning of life. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, there's so much in there to digest. And that's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. First thought came to my mind was like, I wonder who felt better, him thanking you in such a large way or you receiving like thanks. But you did say that it trickled into you being thankful. And that's beautiful, right? Boy, it's like giving someone $1 and somehow the dollar becomes two and it gives to someone else. And like, but it's amazing these things. I don't know, is thankfulness a virtue, but basically, like, it's amazing how something like that can grow and spread, and it takes so little, just like a look in the eye, a smile, a true, like, humble thank you. Look at the power of that to make life, right? You want to go to the doctor and pay you thousands of dollars. Sometimes we need to, but sometimes, like the study talks about, you just need to like get rid of the toxins. And one way to do it is gratitude, and something that just makes me want to practice it more.
Yeah. So, babe, what can we do to put our own
Right.
words in action?
Sure. Yeah. I do like, as simple as being thankful before you go to bed, 3 things. I usually go on a walk and do a prayer. But if I can try to remember to just literally be thankful and not just like blah, 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 but like just like soak in, each word as I say it, or dwell on it for a moment, and let my body like receive. And it's not about me, but I'll just get that healing anyways. Like, let me receive the goodness. Like, thank you, Lord, that I had a job today. Man, I got clothes on me right now. It's cold out and I got clothes, like, you're just like, wow, I could not have clothes, like, so it's just like, it just does something to you. It's amazing, right? So talk about like a free gift that doesn't cost money, and who knows the bounds? Really, we don't know the bounds, and that could, if you're in a better mood, you might do something that affects someone else tomorrow, and just wow, yeah. How about you? How might you practice this a bit more?
Yeah, I think, yeah, the journaling is going to be huge because then it's like out of my head and I can see it too, and then I'm like writing it. So I'm just putting these pieces together, and I feel like by journaling, which I haven't been journaling a lot, but I think it just helps it become more real when I do journal. So to try to keep that practice up, I think is what I'll continue. And then I think I should do that about work too. I love my job and it's great. But sometimes I'm just so busy. Like, there are just so many thoughts, and they're not even bad thoughts. They're a lot of good thoughts because I really do like my job. but just to take like some time at lunch maybe, or one time in the day to just slow down and be thankful for what's happened. With one of my volunteers last week, we were like, victories. We were like, yeah, celebrating our victory, which was huge. It like totally transformed the day of some hard work and then finally accomplishing it. But I think I should do that more regularly so I can like just not go through the day, but actually live the day.
Okay, so a little bit of application. I just looked up real quick. So, I hear all the time, like I said, in health podcasts and whatever group you follow, they're always talking about gratitude practices, whether it's meditation, it's prayer, whatever form it is. It's in all these different religions. I just looked up the Bible. It's 139 times that the word thank in one way or another comes across. Just, so much, right? Just so much.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I love it. I love it.
So we hope this was edifying to you. Let us know in the comments if you've had any like positive experiences with gratitude, or vice versa for that matter, or even better practices. We're always open to hearing your comments.
Yes, and we are thankful for you. We are glad that you're here. And even if you're not here right now, you will be in the future. We're thankful for the future you.
It's truly true. We both have jobs. We're not just here for our own fun on camera. Like, we're here for you. We're praying for you guys, regardless of your walk of life. Hope the best for you. And just thanks for joining us.
Ciao, ciao.